rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed them. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I'm a men in them. Enemies, I'm the enema, I'ma on them. Just like my keys, drop my on the dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential, it's consequential. Philosophies unidentical, I'm not in you. My Siamese brother Benjamin, that's how I stick to him. These diamond bees, all VBs, I call them Vivica. Skating underneath the bridge, stay hustling as it is. Make money, feed the kids, ain't nothing in the fridge. Wake up, repeat the sins, I need a 10, stay muddy to the lid, 800, eat a.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beat.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Lawrence looking to pass on the first play. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Christian Harris there finding his way home to record the sack. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Another try after the first down sack. Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Lawrence will throw. Lets this one rip toward Graham. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play that time for Jacksonville. 58 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. Well, this defense for the Texans, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Escaping the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. but we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Off the play fake, Barry. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Marlon Mack, his first carry of the game. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The Texans 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Staying on the ground with Mack. And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Dawkins. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to an okay gain.
And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Barry. And that will be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They'll run with Etienne. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Got it.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Straight ahead, Etienne. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
A run by Mack to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Off play action. Barry. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Jawan Bentley, the one to get in and finish off the play. On 4th down on is Colby Wadman now to punt. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now Lawrence. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gregory Jr. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And able to find Kirk complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Etienne. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. One more time with Etienne. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And they'll try to run with Etienne. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, but still a decent ways from the end zone now on 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Going for it, here's Etienne. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the line. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. On first down, Barry. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here we go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Barry. Oh, what a catch by Jones. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
19 Charger.
Back to throw again. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
19.
The final shot before break. Barry. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Off the play fake. Barry. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. Barry eluding the pressure right. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
On the set.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Dancing to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week, he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Lawrence. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now this throw caught left side. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. Jones hit and the ball's out. And the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Another tote for ETN. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They'll try and run for it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back. I've got this call.
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Lawrence to throw. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Etienne up the middle. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Etienne once more. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Ready?
Going with their tight end on 4th. They didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
They'll try to run with Etienne. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point try good by Gano. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Barry looking downfield for Jones. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Then he will finally be taken down. But how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Off play action. Barry to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Barry. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And this one is right through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
From the 27, Lawrence hit and the ball is free. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Velus Jones from 19 yards away. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw there into the hands of Ross.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's a give to Etienne. And some space here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 65 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. On first down, right back to Etienne. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From midfield now, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On third down, here's Etienne. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. Officially, it's a 1 yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Forced out to his left. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
19 Tiger.
On third down, Barry. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 11. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Come on, set, 50, point. 61, match, point.
On 2nd and 12, Lawrence. And this is going to be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
They go right back to Mack. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And they get the guard, John Runyon. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll go with Mack here up the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros. And I know they would have loved to have had a touchdown there to give them some cushion. But now, kick the field goal. Get the lead. Let your defense bring you home. Show some faith in those guys on the other side of the ball.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry. Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Back to throw, Lawrence. And this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now, Lawrence. He's going to let it fly. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Derek Stingley picks it. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the fourth quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the fourth quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right? That reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points. Defense held them.